Hello everybody, video here for you today. There's a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing occurrences on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. The federal government investigated for 2 decades, but their findings have never been made public. Now a new team of independent scientists and researchers are uncovering proof of the claims and will stop at nothing to reveal the secret Skinwalker Ranch. This is the No Cap recap of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 6, Episode 10, called Hard Target, originally aired August 5th, 2025. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. From the Mesa drill site, Thomas gives the update that the drill bit is about 340 feet into borehole 2. So far, the team has had numerous issues with both boreholes, but did get borehole 1 done between seasons 5 and 6. Most recently, in borehole 2, the drill bit encountered something harder than granite, but they were able to drill through in 2.5 hours. The plan is that once borehole 2 is done and coated with cement gel to prevent a collapse, to put scientific instruments in both boreholes on either side of the big, probably metal object in order to determine what it is. Dr. Taylor has said the many smaller objects around it make him think of a debris field. Archaeologist Chris Roberts is going through the borehole spoils when he notices this low-flying plane. He alerts the team, and Dr. Tyler says it seems like a single-engine civilian plane. It is not transmitting an ADSB signal as it should be. Dr. Tyler later says it was circling the ranch, and at the time he wondered if they were just looky-loos or if they were up to something more nefarious. Over the past few years, they have spotted numerous civilian and military planes flying over the ranch. The plane heads west and leaves the ranch airspace. Thomas reports that the borehole 2 drill bit has hit something harder than granite again, and the beacon inside the drill bit is reporting to be both left and right, far from where the driller knows the drill bit to be. Dr. Tyler sees proof of that as the monitor he is looking at shows the beacon signal, and instead of just one peak like it normally is, it's widespread. The drillers will attempt to continue the borehole operation. That night, Dr. Taylor asked Eric and Jim to come to his trailer near the command center on the ranch. He explains that he has security cameras that are hardwired to a computer in his trailer. He says they were disabled for a while, but while they were, video was recorded from them and sent to an unknown recipient. It is not connected to Wi-Fi at all, so Dr. Taylor says the only way it could have been done was from inside his trailer. Here's a screen capture of the data as it was happening. The hard drive was working normally, then got a reboot flag. Channels 5, 6, 2, and 3 then logged out 4 seconds apart, but are shown in reverse time order. Dr. Taylor says you can't open the menu and log out in just 4 seconds. After the logouts, it still shows one hard drive working, and Dr. Taylor says that means the data was saved to a different drive than the one inside his computer. One possible way it could be done would be through a LoRaWAN device. They've long suspected low-flying aircraft to be dropping those devices. In addition, whoever was doing the hacking would also have to know how to complete those commands faster than should be possible. The next morning at the Mesa drill site, the drill bit made it to 470 feet and took 2.5 hours to drill through the last 67 inches, but now cannot advance. They pull out of the borehole, and to everyone's surprise, all of the teeth are still intact. The driller described a squealing noise it was making, which usually means the teeth are destroyed or worn down. Since that is not the case, the other option is that now they have drilled to something that is even harder than anything they have previously drilled through. It will change to a different drill bit to try to make progress. Biologist Ben Woodruff returns to the ranch to go over footage from the several trail cams he helped install on the ranch. The team has become interested in the wildlife on the ranch for multiple reasons, including the finding of what has been proven to be part dire wolf, a species thought to be extinct for thousands of years. The team is also thinking that it might help shed some light on how Dr. Taylor's camera server got hacked. Ben starts by telling the team that the entire area has been in a drought situation for a number of years, and there hasn't been much wildlife on the ranch, but this year there is an abundance for some reason. It says there are many turkeys on the ranch, and they have not only bred and raised one group of offspring, they have had a second group of offspring. It says this is a long and lean coyote, exactly what you would expect. In the field directly south of the drill site is an elk with white bumps on its face. Ben doubts it's a skin condition since it's only on the face. Thomas asks if that could be caused by radiation. They don't mention it, but he had previously suffered what was thought to be radiation on the top back of his head. The resulting bump was causing his skull to start separating from his skin. Doctors could not explain it. Then Ben shows another elk with similar bumps on his face. Another related history, during the drilling of borehole 1 in the previous season, the drill bit was thought to have contacted the large metallic anomaly in the mesa, and in that exact moment, a calf in the same area that elk was this year started spinning itself around and its eyes turned white. It was diagnosed by a vet as having suffered microwave radiation exposure. Ben requests permission to get some plant samples from the area of the field in an effort to find some answers. Eric, Caleb, and Jim take Ben to the field to do that immediately, and Thomas, Sam, and Dr. Taylor go to the drill site to monitor that operation. Ben notices that this section looks like it has been mowed, but it has not. Growth is different on each side, and Ben gets a sample of both to compare. The plant growth is really stunted here. Eric finds presumably one of Dr. Taylor's rockets that Eric says has been there for at least a year, maybe 2, meaning it's a seasoned 4 or 5 rocket. My first thought, eBay it. The next morning, the drillers announced that they did get through the hard section they were stuck on, then made additional progress of about 6 feet, but then got stuck on another hard section. They got through that as well, but in the process destroyed all the teeth on the drill bit. Dr. Taylor says that the teeth and the drill bits are designed to cut through granite fairly easily, and he has no idea what would be harder than granite deep in the mesa. At one point, the driller was using 15,000 pounds of pressure and could not make any progress. As happened previously, the heat that would have caused was apparently absorbed, as the drill bit temperature did not go up. This ties into the findings in the spoils of a previous borehole, as well as boreholes 1 and 2 the past 2 seasons, of fragments of metal that are very similar to what is used to protect spacecraft from heat. Dr. Taylor says 1,000 degrees of heat should have been generated by that much pressure. They expect to find more in the new spoils. First, they talked to Ben via video conferencing in the command center. He says he took samples of a plant called a golden aster. The north and south samples contain leaves that are healthy and photosynthesizing well, as shown here. The middle section golden aster leaves are in this condition, which Ben says is exactly what you would expect if they suffered radiation damage. Ben goes on to say that in plants as well as mammals, radiation breaks up cells and changes the DNA. He zooms in to show that some of the damage is in circular form, just as it was on the elk's faces. In a 2018 Season 1 radiation sweep of the ranch the team ordered, the experts found nothing concerning in that field. Jim asked an excellent question, if it's surface level radiation or if it's something underground affecting the plant's roots. Ben says it looks more like an external event. Dr. Taylor says it's odd that it's a long swath, hundreds of feet long and 20 to 30 feet wide. It seems very localized. Ben enlightens us by saying that the delineating lines on both sides mean that it's not something natural. Dr. Taylor says they need to devise experimental techniques to get to the bottom of this. The driller stayed late to try to make more progress and again hit something really hard. The team is monitoring with spectrum analyzers and radiation detectors. The drill beacon frequency starts modulating all over the place as Dr. Taylor describes it. At the same time, he picks up a signal on the 1.6 gigahertz frequency, as is common on the ranch, especially during experiments. Since Eric was not seeing it on his command center spectrum analyzer, Dr. Taylor says that means that the source is close to them, and he wonders later if it's coming from whatever the drill bit just hit. The drill beacon signal spreading results in it not working correctly, so the driller does not know exactly where the drill bit is in the mesa. Thomas gives a drilling update saying that a pattern is emerging, that there's 2 to 3 inches of hard material, and then 2 to 3 inches of easy drilling, and then back to hard material. Eric says that such a pattern would indicate a structure. Chris calls from the spoils site that he has some things they will want to look at. He has found more heat tile pieces. This first one is 2 colors and has a crosshatch pattern on one side. Dr. Taylor says that means it was manufactured. This piece has a finished edge. Dr. Taylor says that it's beveled and fits into something else. Chris says it's basically a tile, but it's not a plate or cup. It's too thin to be a floor or roof tile. Caleb asks, what would you use metal in conjunction with tiles for? Dr. Taylor says, I don't know, a spaceship? He further says that it's a hard ceramic, so it could be what is chewing up the drill bits. And one of the most accurate things I have heard Dr. Taylor say, he says, this is like an episode of the X-Files or something. A UFO crash inside the mesa has long been a part of the lore of Skinwalker Ranch. Eric detects unusually high levels of radiation off of the ceramics. The team will do deeper scientific analysis of the ceramics to attempt to find some answers about them, which could possibly lead to answers about the ranch as well. I'll be recapping Season 6 this summer and possible early fall, depending on how many episodes there are in Season 6, as well as retro no-cap recaps of Seasons 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. seasons 1 and 5 in the existing episodes of season 6 are already in that Skinwalker Ranch playlist. I'll also be finishing up retro no-cap recaps of the second half of season 8 of The Curse of Oak Island. All of the other seasons and episodes are already done and are in that Oak Island playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.